Now, I know when you're young, your parents really want you to take out a house. And in fact, for a lot of us, the ultimate success is a good job, paying good money, and your own house. Well, and you've got married, and maybe a child as well. But if you've got all those 4 or 5 things done, you're the best kid. When I was 21 years old, my parents really wanted me to take out a mortgage. My parents really wanted me to have my own house. I was working a job where I was making 60, 70,000 pounds a year, and I avoided it. I stayed away from it because I understood something. It's not okay for a Muslim to take out a mortgage. I understood I needed to find an alternative. And I'm going to explain to you today exactly how I found an alternative. I'm going to share that with you, a completely permissible way. And I'm going to tell you how not only that decision was a good decision, but one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. And today, alhamdulillah, I run 4 successful businesses, all making more than £10,000 a month because of this decision and this option that I took. The crazy thing is, I really didn't want to take out a mortgage. I actually went to a broker to see what the best rates were and everything like that. And you know what the crazy thing is? I watched a video, and it wasn't even an Islamic video. It was actually a non-Muslim. 2, by the way. One was Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett was asked the question, when should I buy a house?
We did have about $10,000 starting off, and I told Susie, I said, now, there's 2 choices. It's up to you. We can either buy a house, which will use up all my capital and clean me out, and it'll be like a carpenter who's had his tools taken away from him, or you can let me work on this, and someday, who knows, maybe I'll even buy a little bit larger house than would otherwise be the case.
What he basically said is, I went to my wife and I said, look, you can wait until we get a house and we'll get a big house, or I get a house today, I'll get a small house. And what he ended up explaining is, a carpenter needs his tools. When the carpenter needs his tools to do what he does, that's exactly how a business person needs his money. You see, without money, you can't make money. A business person needs money to start multiple businesses and make his money, make more money. And that's exactly what Warren Buffett says, a billionaire, and clearly done all right with his life. The second person was Grant Cardone, who, okay, yes, I agree, isn't the best example, but he said something and it was right. The thing that he said is, what's the point you buying a house and living in that house until you're 60 years old, then passing it down to your children? Most of the time, by the way, 45% tax is gonna get cut off when you give it to your children. And so by the time your house is a certain level, you then cut off 45%, you share it between 2 or 3 children, they take certain cuts, they could probably just about afford deposits on their own houses. So what do you do instead? And what did I do? Well, I was making good money and my family were willing to, help me with a deposit, because I have to be honest, I didn't really have a lot of deposit. But instead, what I decided to do is not take on that burden. At 25 years old, I started my own recruitment company. Now, the only reason I could do that, I actually got married in the same month that I started my recruitment company. The only reason I was able to do that is because I didn't really have the stress of paying a mortgage. I was living at my house with my parents and I just got married and, well, we lived together, so it didn't matter. That point was super crucial for me. If I had to pay £1,500 towards a mortgage, I would never been able to start my own business. So I didn't have that stress. And there's me at 25, 26 years old, with £1,000 in my bank account, I start my own business without that stress. Thankfully, Allah Azza wa Jal, because I genuinely believe this, I stayed away from the haram. I decided not to take out a mortgage. I decided not to go down that route because it was Islamically not okay. I believe at the age of 25, 26, Allah opened doors for me. After month 6, I was making £20,000 a month. Alhamdulillah, after year 1, we made more than £100,000 a year. And the only reason I say that is not because of myself. I put hard work in. It was because of the blessings of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And that's important for you to understand. Like, do you really think success is going to come to you if you take out a mortgage and, you go down the mortgage route and you work your job, you get promoted? There'll be no blessings in your money. I guarantee it. So the best thing you can do is not do something which isn't okay. You'll have blessings in your money. Start something with the mindset that I want this business to help me, and that business be a ways of means for you to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. Give money in charity. Have halal income for your children, for your family. And I guarantee the blessings will open up. But anyway, instead of taking out a mortgage, I start my own business. Well, now I've even got deposit. Now I can get an even bigger mortgage, and I decided not to do that. I decided to rent, because instead of putting that large deposit, 20, 30, 40,000 pounds, which I had in savings now at the age of 26, 27, I start another business at the age of 28. That other business makes another £10,000 a month. money makes money. It's something you have to understand. And so the money that you have initially in your 20s is tools for you to make more money. Now, if you just go spend that on a mortgage and you live in that house and you just pay for it for 30 years, you'll never make money. The middle class are the middle class. The middle class take out a mortgage. The middle class pay for their mortgage. The middle class live day to day. And so if you live like everyone else, you will be like everyone else. Trust me when I say this, you have to do things differently. Starting businesses and making multiple streams of income definitely helped me, but more importantly, staying away from the sin, staying away from something which isn't permissible, massively helped me. Allah open up doors. Today, I have businesses in the UK, in Dubai, in Pakistan. Last year, 2023, I traveled nearly 10 times, probably more by the way, I don't keep count, to the UK, to Dubai, and to Pakistan. Why? I have that flexibility. I don't have a house where I have to pay mortgage and I'm stuck in that environment and I'm stuck. I can genuinely move houses like every year. It doesn't matter. Why? Because, well, I need to. And I'm not restricted. I don't have to sell a house to get that money out. So, look, unless you're going to look at it from an investment point of view, making money is super important with your own money. If you're seeing it from an investment point of view, definitely buying a house, fixing it up, selling it on, you could do really well. But listen, who wants to do that when you're going to fall into haram? One of the biggest sins you could do is fall into riba and get yourself tied up into a riba contract where you're paying that for 30 years. Who knows if we're going to live for 30 years or not? So trust me when I say this, stay away from it. It's the best thing you could possibly do. Best thing I did. Doors opened up. Have belief in Allah. Trust me. Make sure to let me know how you're not going to be taking out a mortgage in the comments below because of this video.